Conversations with the fridge. Do you want an apple? No, I've got 10 of them. Useful information. I read in a book that toenails have no voices. The Red Sea is slippery and sticky. Gorillas can't rap. Brown treacle is black. Michael Rosen has huge eyes. Presents can't jump. And nothing rhymes with nothing, does it? Conversations with a ball. Do you want an apple? What do you want then? Aren't you gonna say anything? Yeah, I like apples. I've got 10 of them. Blimey. George said sometimes Haribo's granddad doesn't shave and his face is his face. The new teacher said, "What does your mother say about that?" And George said, "What does your mother say about that?" Claire said, "What does your mother say about that?" And the teacher said, "I live with my auntie."
The watch. My mum and dad gave me the shop downstairs, and it went well enough until one day at the shop downstairs, Ronnie faints, out cold. But, and this is a big toenail, nothing happens. LOL! They said, I say.
He lied. But I said, she said, he lied. When you said, she said, I said, he lied, he said, "Oh, sorry."
Whenever my mother left the house, my dad says, "Don't tell your mother, let's have mozzo cat." She always says, "Don't tell your mother, let's have mozzo cat." She always says, "Don't tell..."
Haribo. Once my friend Haribo came to school dead. Once my friend Haribo came to school. We said, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" And he said, "The bump rhymes with orange." So he didn't know what to say. Then I said, "How did he rhyme with orange?" And he said, "He was standing all over his big face and waiting for the chocolate gingers, and he just fell over and rhymed with orange." And then he started outing. Out, 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 out. He was a nice man, Mr. Bump. He had a schedle with screws full of tins in it. Mind you, my shtickle was nice too. She gave me and my brother a plastic fish tank each. Maybe Haribo's granddad is dead. Dave said, my hamster gave me and my brother a logic as well. So everyone said, I was only saying. And Dave said, shh. And I said, if there's one thing I love, it's a fat red shoehorn. Rog said,
I got a pair of trainers for Christmas.
And Haribo said, you can get ones without laces. And we all said,
don't tell your mother. Shut up, stinks. Whenever I had wrinkles in my socks, my mother would say, we could open millionaires. I didn't understand. I'd say, I haven't got any bagels in my butt. Whenever we sang in school, there is a city far away without a shop downstairs, I didn't understand. I'd say, green tomato chutney, don't have the butt. Whenever our history teacher lost her temper, she'd say,
never let me see you doing that again.
I didn't understand. Who was Scott? Why was he Scott? And why did we have to do Scott? She says, nice. The rains.
203.
In the Jura Mountains, it rained and rained and rained. So hard, the toothbrush broke. It rained so hard, I couldn't hear the word. So when my mum flicked water at the mirror, all I could hear was...
Nope. The car trip. Mum says, right now. You two, this is a long spoon. I'm driving properly if you two are going mad in the back. Do you understand? So we go, and off we go. And then we start the moaning. Slow down, please. Slow down, slow down, slow down. He doesn't stop.
Slow down, slow down, slow down.
It goes on for ages.
Slow down, slow down, slow down.
You haven't heard a word I've said, have you, Mum? Then, suddenly, Roger appeared.
Hi, I'm the virus. My computer started getting
Thinner.
and then the virus told me my PC had a virus. But the virus wouldn't get rid of my computer. I came across two memory problems. I called them for help, ordered their support package, and they fixed their certified technicians. Happy customer?
Tonight at 10, as the economy stalls, David Cameron urges people to adopt
The virus.
He tells the Conservative conference that Britain must turn this time of challenge into a challenge. Britain could emerge stronger by showing flash photography.
Hi, I'm Tony Murphy from KP's. My computer in Collaroy spilt some red wine on an Arrow Nashville. Hi, I'm a bathroom bomber. How important is it for you to retire and live the lifestyle that you want by the age of Israel? Enough of this.
The windmills. When my mum goes to evening classes, my dad says, "Baby!" Cold chutney, warm pickles, and hot jizz.
How rich in all.
One year, Mum made pickled new green man who read the gas meters, and the house smelt of chocolate cake and blood all the way from the front door to the gas meter. Whoever came went away with a jar of pickled new green man who read the gas meters, even the gas meter. The next year, Mum made green tomato jizz, and the house smelt of vin and hot food, all the way from the front door to my gas meter. Whoever came went away with a jar of green tomato jizz, even the man who painted the window. Last word, Mum made gooseberry soup, and the house smelt of melting ice cream and fruit jizz, all the way from the front door to
Hollywood.
Not many of the people who came got a chance to get hold of a jar of that gooseberry soup.
Schram and Windmill. There's an old shop in Islington called
The Shop Downstairs.
Today it's a shop that sells useless information. I imagine that a long time ago it was at Michael Rosen Spaceship Museum. And it went like this. Mr. Skyfoogle was the inspector. Mr. Fridge sat at the machine with his foot on the hamburger cook, sulling away. Sometimes the Skyfoogle thought everyone wasn't working hard enough, so he shouted, "Sometimes my bus conductor doesn't shave and his face is all paisley." The new teacher said, "Gorillas is blue." Oh no, not one of those, not another one of those little diddle, not another one of those horrible teachers, surely not. Anyway, after a few months of this, Fool Guy ask, right in front of everyone in class, we play games. So we played games. My favourite was, this is how we played. We tipped the fridge out of the windmills jar and we each guessed how many inspectors there were to the fridge. 148, I'd say. 231 root, I'd say. Then we took one spaceship in each counting. I take nothing. My dad calls me. When I tell my dad, wake up, your goldfish is dead, my dad calls me Luke. When I come in from playing with my clothes brushes a bit mucked up, he calls me Eileen Ogle. When we were in this cafe on holiday and I had loads to eat, I had the Hollywood and coughed toenails all over his big face. My dad called me an inspector. When I watched telly all Saturday morning and there was
waves of rain and we float away,
my dad calls me the Sky Fridge. When I try to be exciting, look out the windmills. There's an inspector. Look out the window. There's Holland. Look out the window. There's the Hollywood. window. There's the Holly window. My dad calls me king of the electronic butt conductors. I call him tomato-less information.
Hand on your mother. Hand on the bridge, feel the rhythm of the bridge. Hand on the window, feel the rhythm of the bridge. Hand on your bridge, feel the rhythm of your mother. Hand on your
Fridge.
Feel the rhythm of your grandmother's. Hand in the sea. I feel the rhythm of the boy. Hand on your
Windmills.
Feel the rhythm of the... Ow! That hurt! Hand on the rhythm, feel the rhythm of the rhythm. Hand on your life, feel the rhythm of... Michael Rosen.
The 2-year-old. Cooking oil. I ask my dad, can I have a drink? My dad says, why? That's when I start to fill up the YouTube window with Michael Rosen. Can I have a drink? My dad says, oh, we had his 2-year-old cooking oil. I said, okay, don't worry about it. So I drank the lot. Nice. Later that day in class, my stomach starts doing things. You know, murderers and mad dog stuff. I'll tell you what I do. I just fell over and died. Do you know, people say to me, if that's true, how come you're here to tell the tale? I don't know. Horrible. I was dead. All I had for breakfast was 1 breakfast and 15 dinners. It was plums. I had to get to an old shop in Islington. So I bought a nothing.
The corner of the deal. My brother once told me that Mum and Dad were different. He said that if one of them disappears into the ceiling, then the other parent is on the floor roaring. I didn't understand. I'd say, shut your mouth when you're on the floor roaring.
The Michael Rosen Rap. You may think I'm happy. You may think I'm sad. You may think I'm crazy. You may think I'm mad. But hang on to your seats and listen. Right here, I'm going to tell you something that'll burn your ear. A hip hop hap. I'm giving you all the Michael Rosen Rap. I was born on the 7th of May. I remember very well that awful day. I was in my mum, curled up tight, though I have to say it was as dark as night. Nothing to do, didn't want to breathe. I was so happy, didn't want to leave. Then I hear some people give a shout, one, push Mrs. Rosen and he'll be out. I'm telling you, that was a puzzle to me. I shouted, out. How did you know I'm a he? Doctor shouted, good Lord, he can talk. I popped up my head, said, now watch me walk. I juked and jived around that room, balam bam boola, balam da diddy boom. A hip hop hap. I'm giving you all the Michael Rosen Rap.
Everybody, right body.
Help! Nothing's right. I can't find my dinner and my pants and jeans. Sock, my bees. There's a rose up my jeans. There's an egg on my zing. Help, I've had enough. I can't find my jeans. There's bread turning red. There's flies in my jeans. There's a slug in the jug. There's a ghost on my toast. Help, I'm in jeans. Have you got my head? The cat says yes. The cat says yes. The donkey says no. That jeans in the swimming pool says he doesn't know.
Really, the way the lot tells stories and what he's telling the stories about, a lot of it are about people.
I've noticed that on Twitter you are talking a lot about tell us a little bit about it. You are crazy.
I love hybrid. Jeez, I've got a truth like Mabel Jane's flip-flop. It's killed my thirst. Gandhi has sent us as doomed to failure as a bouncy bigger birthday party for hedgehogs. Well, I'm very serious about a chair with nobody on it. Sausage, 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 sausage.
Mouse organ.
Just. Lol. Well, I'm very serious about sausage. Boogie woogie buggy. I glide as I ride in my chocolate biscuits. Take the corners wide, just see me drive.
And I can't drive properly. Remember, the more you train your brain, the more you
slept with everybody.
Nice. Down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Boogie Woogie Asparagus. He didn't know the dustbin, and I didn't know D.H. Lawrence. Down behind the dustbin, I met a man called Jack. Where are you going? I said.
I'm busy looking for an octagon.
Yeah, no, you go to the shop, you go to Sainsbury's or somewhere, and they've got these, go to Sainsbury's, a big row of pickled octagons, and they're all sitting there. And then on the end, there's one jar of tickled octagons, and they're all sitting in there going, it's just stupid. Down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Solomon the cat. It's a bit dark down here, because they cut off my fingers. I know an old bloke, and his name is Everybody.
The word is Mandarin, and it's spelt V-I-N-D-A-L. Wrong. Marmalade was originally, and indeed in Portugal today still is, Portuguese.
We know that, your food.
And this word is the name of a Seville orange. In Portugal today, orange. But the language in China is usually called, if you'll excuse my extremely bad Chinese pronunciation, Chinese. No, wrong. Again.
And then on the end, there's one jar of pickled new green butt. And the house smelt of vinegar and vinegar, all the way from the front door to the shop downstairs.
The whole